play this funky intro.
I've been all in my bag, you been all in my business, you be all in your feelings, I've been all in them trenches, I've been all in my bag.
Yes, haven't heard that music for weeks and weeks. I'm Sai. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. This is our wrestling series, Keepin It Real with Andrew Thompson. I am absolutely thrilled to be back where we shoot through the news for 45 minutes to an hour, talking all sorts of wrestling stories. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot to talk about. But just very quickly before we talk the graps, if you like to watch your podcast in video form, youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation. Give us a little subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. Coming up to 3,000 subscribers at the moment. So any help appreciated on that front. If you prefer them in audio form, we're at all podcast platforms. You just search Ace Podcast Nation. There is over 400 shows on all sorts of subjects, from football, MMA, boxing, wrestling. There's loads of exclusive interviews and content and stuff on there. So much different stuff with some top names from their various fields. But I am delighted as ever to welcome the man, the myth, and the legend. It is Mr. Andrew Thompson. He's post-wrestling's writer and interviewer. He's got his own YouTube channel, which I encourage you to subscribe to for the best wrestling interviews on the internet. How goes it, my friend?
What's going on, Si? How you feeling?
I'm all right, bro. I'm just got a headache still. So for anyone who doesn't know, like we haven't done a show for a few weeks because a lady drove her car into the back of mine, and I've been dealing with some issues from that. Just a bit of concussion symptoms and stuff like that. But I feeling a lot better than I did about a week to 10 days ago. I was
right. Cannot drive, man.
Oh, mate, it's scary. Like, because it's not just that you've got to watch what you're doing. You've got to guess what other people are doing, and I was still behind the car in front of me, and yeah, she drove in the back of me. She didn't do it on purpose, but as in her words, she was distracted, and there we go. It is what it is, my friend. But it's good to be back, and it feels like the world of wrestling has granted us with lots of stories to talk about this week, mate, because there's been a lot. But I feel like we should start with the one which sort of come out yesterday and today, where Dave Meltzer reported that WWE and New Japan have been in talks since, I think it was April, or certainly for a good few months, about a potential exclusive partnership. It's a weird one. I give you that. It's strange that New Japan would want to even discuss an exclusive partnership with WWE, which would obviously mean an end to their work with Impact and AEW and Ring of Honor and is it Triple M?
Thanks for stealing my line.
Thank you. So, well, this is it. You feed me the stuff before, and then I take it and use it as my own. Makes me look intelligent, and now you've got nothing to say. That's how we go.
You know what? I think we're gonna cut this short.
No, but it's a weird story, isn't it? Because if they were to sign that exclusive deal with WWE, it seemingly puts a stop to all those partnerships, which obviously, when the New Japan guys started turning up on Impact and AEW, how excited was everybody about potential, Okada and Kenny Omega, or Ibushi and Kenny Omega, and all these different stories. Like, when the pandemic's over, people can travel again. These are the stories we're going to get. Bullet Club versus Inner Circle, or Bullet Club versus the Elite. If they sign a deal with WWE, you ain't getting none of that shit.
Yeah, even Kojima right now is in Impact, and he's doing some stuff with Joe Doring, and it looked like it's going to carry over into Slammiversary, because I remember he posted a picture on Twitter of him with the Slammiversary 1 week away background, so it looks like he's gonna be with them through July. And like you just look at everything that's going on right now, I don't think that it benefits New Japan at all to want to consider or go or fully go. I mean, we're not considered to fully go through with a working relationship with WWE, because I'm pretty. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure WWE has the financial side to offer New Japan that is probably absolutely ridiculous. Especially with the money that they made over the past several years or so. But I feel like New Japan is I feel like they kind of got more cards on the table than WWE does. Like I feel like they have more to offer. So I feel like New Japan is kind of has more leverage because they have the already established working relationship with Ring of Honor, New Japan. I mean, CMLL in Mexico. Of course, AEW looks like it's growing. Ring of Honor, last time I mentioned Ring of Honor, but they got Impact. So I feel like New Japan would be doing kind of a disservice to themselves and their talents, by joining up with WWE. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like they probably going to do what's best for the company. But I think that WWE isn't necessarily looking to do some big talent exchange. I feel like they want to sort of later down the line, maybe one day own New Japan.
Yeah, well,
just have that under their banner. I feel like that's the main goal for WWE. I can't see them, being like, oh yeah, these are just our buddies, and we're gonna, we're gonna help them grow. Like I feel like WWE's main goal is to own New Japan so they can turn it into, some sort of not a developmental, but like sort of a subsidiary program of the WWE product that people can go on Peacock and watch and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think like when you look at what they did with the UK scene, they started with a partnership, and then they gradually moved to, we'll put you on the network, and then then they bought those companies. So I think same with Evolve. But let's try and be positive. If it was to happen, what are some of the positives for both sides? I guess with New Japan, you have the financial side of it. WWE would probably pay them handsomely, secures the long-term financial future. But then, New Japan's not short of cash, being owned by Bushiroad. In terms of storyline or talent, like a potential kind of Bullet Club versus Roman Reigns and the Usos is quite a tantalizing prospect. There is some dream matches there, and from a WWE point of view, like I was thinking, first of all, I thought, who have WWE got that New Japan would be interested in bringing over? Because it doesn't always just because you're a star in America doesn't always translate to you being a star in Japan. But then they've got Finn Balor, they've got AJ Styles and Nakamura and Io Shirai, people like they could go over and be a big deal in Japan. So the potential is there. I don't think it'll happen anyway. But here's a outlandish theory for you. Could New Japan be the bridge that brings AEW and WWE together, and then all wrestling companies will work together in beautiful bliss?
No. But you want to know what's funny? On me and Martin, we had Martin Bushby, we had Rev Pro owner Andy Quildan on our podcast, the Bushby and Thompson wrestling adventure, that you can go get on Apple, Spotify, and check on the Post Wrestling Network.
Get it.
Go get that. But he was telling this story about how when New Japan came over to the UK for the Royal Quest show back in August 2019, and Triple H had gave this speech to the NXT UK roster because they had TakeOver Cardiff on the same day, and Triple H it was like, New Japan is trying to take food off your table, and they're trying to take your jobs. And then he said that the same talents who were trying to work for Rare Pro and work for New Japan, that were working for Rare Pro and were trying to cross over into New Japan, like they were like, yeah, fuck New Japan. and it's so I'm not, only reason I'm not optimistic about the WWE New Japan potential partnership is because the word exclusive, and I know there are matches there that I'm pretty sure everybody wants to see, including myself. There are a bunch of matches there that would be interesting, but I just can't see WWE having good faith going into this relationship without any like outlying opportunities that they're possibly looking at, such as buying New Japan or like trying to own the product,
Of
or
course.
just like I just can't see them going into this like with just good faith. That's why I think it's just better for New Japan to just do what they do, man. Like they are in a good spot right now, and I mean, things haven't been good necessarily since the pandemic started. They have like a lot of weird booking decisions, and of course Ospreay with his injury, like we don't even know, how long he's gonna be out. He said that he's hoping to come back this year, but like dude has had like he put some mileage on his body, so I don't know if that's accurate to say that he's gonna come back this year. But
And you don't know how
I
he's
think
going to
New
come
Japan-
back either. Like you don't know what
I
state.
think New Japan, like the best thing for them to do is to just stick to what they're doing and maintain the partnerships that they got intact.
They're in a good spot though, mate, because everybody wants to partner up with them. Like every company in UK and North America, they all want to work with New Japan. Like, so they're in a good spot to get a good deal. I noticed that Fred Rosser said that John Laurinaitis told him that there was a New Japan WWE collaboration coming earlier this year when they were doing a Nexus documentary or something. So it's clearly been in the works, but which makes it even weirder in some ways. If they're talking to WWE, but they're still sending guys to Impact and AEW and stuff. But it is what it is, I guess. We'll have to wait and see. One thing I was disappointed to read today is that Josiah Williams has been released by the WWE. For people who don't know that, initially I came across Josiah Williams a couple of years back because he was doing like remixes of wrestlers' themes and stuff on YouTube. He's super talented dude, and I was lucky enough, like I had a chat with him on when I first started the channel, just over Twitter DMs and stuff. He seems like a really, really nice person, really cool. And I was trying to get him to come on the channel and kind of talk about his music and stuff. And at the time he said, "Oh, look, I can't, I've got something in the works." And then about a week later, he had gone to WWE, so I kind of understood it. But a lovely guy. I've sort of interacted with him a couple of times, and I was really disappointed to see that because he's super talented. He worked on Cameron Grimes' theme as well, most recently. Disappointed to see that, mate, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think they cut him once before.
Yeah,
last
and
year,
then brought him back.
and they brought him back and then cut him again. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll land on his feet. Like people as talented as he is, like it's only a matter of time. He'll find something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too disappointed if AEW picked him up to get involved in their
talking about people who AEW need to pick up. They got that Rampage show. I'm looking at Tom Phillips, and then as soon as JR want to get out of there, put Tom Phillips right. I'm like, dude, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see how he will do in an environment that's not so controlled. Yeah. Like I feel like because he was already like. I don't know where people like came up with these comments that everybody was saying Tom Phillips. I don't think anybody said Tom Phillips was a bad commentator. Like, dude, the WWE is like very tight with how they like their commentary. I feel like Tom would do like a great job, like just being himself, like him, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. Like, JR even said like this is next year is his contract year, or that, but by the time his birthday, which is in January, he said that he'll be. Like his contract will have come up, and he wants to like kind of take it like on a year by year basis thing. So I think the best thing to do, and I think JR, he's earned his respect. You don't want to just try to bum rush him out, but I think if I'm Tony Khan, I think the smart thing to do, you got to start thinking long term. Like of course, all respect to JR, like you want to, of course you give him his flowers, but I'm getting Tom Phillips in that Rampage show, and then I'm gonna let him do that for about 4 or 5 months, and then look, this time. Like, it's time to put him like, because he really is a good commentator, bro.
Well, he was the best of a bunch of commentators and play-by-play guys and stuff who are really in a bad spot when you've got Vince screaming down in your headset and stuff. Like, that's a difficult working environment, and I thought he was pretty good. I thought, like, him, Samoa Joe, and Corey Graves, and Mauro Ranallo, all of them are really very good at what they do. And other than Corey Graves, they've all been released, which to me is mind-boggling. Like, you will never be able to get me to understand why they released Samoa Joe ever from whether you want him as an announcer or a wrestler. Like, he is top drawer at both. And I'll never understand their reasoning behind that. But Tom Phillips, like you say, mate, I think putting him on Rampage, AEW should snap him up before Impact Wrestling do, or Ring of Honor do, or something like that. I don't think he'll be short of offers, that's for sure. But yeah, it's been wild, mate. It's weird. Like, so to me, it seems like WWE is getting ready to sell. Like, they're cutting so many people behind the scenes.
Everybody keeps saying that. I keep saying so many people say that.
But like when companies, I was listening to, who was it? It might have been Jimmy Van talking about not wrestling, but like just business generally. Like, when companies are getting ready to sell, they do a lot of cutting, and they bring everything in tight to try and, make your company as attractive as possible. And it does feel like WWE is doing that a bit. Like, that Alexander Wolf being released was a weird one. Like, he had been on TV recently. He was in Imperium. I didn't really understand. Like, I think he was on a main roster.
I don't think he got released. He didn't get released. His contract was coming up, and they just didn't renew it.
And they just didn't renew it. Yeah, it's a weird one.
But they just told him they weren't going to renew it. So.
Yeah. But like, he's so
same
flexible.
thing. I know what you mean.
He's He could have gone back out to the UK and worked with Imperium. He could have stayed on NXT. There was, he's a good hand, a good person to have. But they just seem to be getting rid of people. And then obviously they're bringing in people like Eva Marie. I read a report this week that she might not necessarily be wrestling. She might be a valet for another female wrestler, which that'd be kind of interesting to see how that goes. They
got rid of Anna Vert.
Yeah,
they put in Jimmy Smith on commentary. But I mean,
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the. I wish I could remember who I saw tweet this. They had a really good tweet. And it was like, I think it was one of the dudes over at What Culture. I think his name was like Andy or something like that. But he had said that Nick Khan isn't a big wrestling guy. And like you can tell this from his interviews that he's done. Like, he's a sports guy.
Yes.
And he wants to present WWE as a sport. And I mean, and in the sense of the aesthetics around it, like the commentary to so sort of everything else that goes into that. And I think he wants people who have had that combat or like an MLB or NBA type experience to present that product to the masses so people can be further drawn in. But I don't think that these commentators can be used to the WWE style of commentary and then not I feel like Adnan Virk, I feel like he was really starting to find his voice a little bit before they let him go. But it was like I feel like he was sort of coming into it. I don't think he was there by any shape or form, but I feel like he was just starting to get comfortable when they cut him. And then Jimmy Smith, he did the Prime Target special for Cross and Balor, and he was on the Takeover Stand Deliver pre-show. And I've never heard any of his MMA stuff. He must be good at it. He's
a good. He's more of a play, not a play-by-play guy though, more analysis and stuff. But it'd be interesting how it goes. He has the potential, I think, to be very good. The thing with
he meeting with Vince McMahon today.
Oh, okay, that'd be interesting.
Good luck
to him. Yeah, the weird thing is that he with Virk is he was just struggling. I didn't really feel like he had got much better. I get what you're saying. He was always going to settle in a little bit more because he'd never done it before, and it's a difficult situation that we talked about with Vince and stuff like that. But I just felt like it wasn't a good fit. He kept throwing to Corey Graves and to Byron Saxton, and he didn't know the names of moves, and that is problematic. But I say that, you say, maybe he was getting a little bit better as he settled in. It's just a weird one. But apparently it was quite a mutual decision. He knew it wasn't working. They knew it wasn't working. So
he knew it wasn't working.
It's good. It is good. I mean, it's good that they made the decision and they didn't just let it go on for like another 3 months, and that they said, right, this isn't working. Let's get him off. Let's get someone in the same day. Don't know whether I'd have gone with Jimmy Smith. Like, for me, I felt like they should have just put Tom Phillips in there. That's the way to work it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Tom Phillips was supposed to be the successor to Michael Cole.
Yeah, I don't know what I think they've treated him really badly, mate. I gotta be honest. Just they kept pulling him off, and I thought he was very good. He was really good on SmackDown.
I wanted to ask you something. Did you kind of get like a weird feeling when not weird like but I mean I guess that's the only way to describe it. Like when he got put on NXT UK. Not saying that's a bad, but what wasn't it just so random?
Yeah, it did make sense today to put him on that, and I don't know, like I just felt like he'd done such a good job on SmackDown. So I didn't, and Raw, he's always done a good job on NXT. Like, so for them to not only take him off those things, but to release him, I just felt like that was poor. I felt like they really have not treated him very well.
I feel like we're just going to wait until he pop up on Oral Sessions one of these days.
Yeah, that would be an interesting conversation.
He was cool with Renee too. I think him and Renee worked like they were tight. So I feel like Tom has like a very interesting story. Like especially him being so ingrained in the WWE culture. It'll be interesting to see like how he is like uncuffed. I guess is the best way to describe it.
Do you think he's going to shoot, or do you think he's going to kind of be quite diplomatic just in case they want to bring him back?
Not diplomatic because he thinks they'll bring him back, but I think Tom's just smart. Like he doesn't want to seem like the bitter guy. There's no need. There's no need to burn a bridge, bro. Like it's no need. I mean, you can still. I mean, this is how I look at it. You ain't got shit to prove to nobody. Like you already know, like your own experience, just like in life in general. Not even Tom. So like you can just not burn a bridge and make it easy on yourself, or you can burn a bridge and never walk back.
It just makes everything more difficult, then, doesn't it? If you do it that way. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting what happened on that front. What have you made of AEW recently? Obviously, Miro is your TNT champion. You've had the announcement that they're moving to TBS, and they've got this new show, Rampage.
That's on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but
that's smart. That is smart.
Yeah, I think it is a good shout. But also, we've put they've got a live Dynamite later today. Obviously, as we record this Friday afternoon, it's you've got a live Dynamite tonight ahead of the pay-per-view on the weekend. Is it Double or Nothing on to Saturday or Sunday? It's Sunday. Yeah, I thought it was.
Did you catch? I didn't mean to cut you off, my bad. But did you catch Tony? Did you catch Tony Khan casually breaking the news that the Women's Casino Battle Royal was going to be at All Out this year? Like he just went on a podcast and just like randomly said it. Like it wasn't even like a thing he put like emphasis on. He was just like, oh yeah, the Women's Casino Battle Royal is coming back at All Out this year, so I'm excited for that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Just kind of threw it in there. He does that sometimes, though. He does just like kind of throw some stuff in now and again.
But you want to know what that made me realize? Like how long term plan they are. Like all out is like in August, September. Like the fact that he already like knows like what's going to take place at All Out. I think that's kind of cool, bro.
Yeah, that's what being organized and long term planning and booking does for you, though. And this is why I do get like a little bit not a little bit. I guess we're frustrated about the WWE is that the talent they've got, the people they've got working behind the scenes and in front of the camera, like if they did long-term planning and booking, they could have put on some incredible shows. And instead they have these weird kind of like half-assed stories, and like Raw has been so bad recently, so many rematches. And like I said to you before the show, mate, before we started recording, what WWE needs to do, and I know NXT fans don't want to hear this, but like if I'm Vince, I'm going to take a lot of NXT guys and girls and I'm putting them in throughout the Raw and SmackDown rosters, particularly Raw, to completely freshen things up. But if I'm Vince, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to say, right, I want Io Shirai on Raw, and then I'm going to say to one of the creative writers, your job is to come up with some ideas for Io Shirai for the next 6 months, to tell me what exactly she's going to do and how you're going to make her a star. And then that person's got to go and do that. But they won't do that. They just will wait until the day she turns up on a Monday. Oh, hi, Io Shirai. Oh, we start in 30 minutes. This is what you've got to do. And it's just so lazy, so frustrating. But yeah, they need an influx of new faces, or you need to do something.
You want to know what I would do? This is my hot take for the podcast today. This is my one and only hot take. Finn Balor needs to beat Bobby Lashley for the WWE title at SummerSlam. Right off the gate.
Yeah,
right off the gate.
As the demon?
No demon. As Finn Balor as he is right now. What a full circle moment, first of all. It'd have been like 5 years since he won the Universal title at SummerSlam. What a better way than to bring him back like 4 weeks before SummerSlam, have him get like 4 wins under his belt, number one contender match, win the match, and go on and win the title. That's how you make Finn Balor. Continue to make him feel like a big deal. Enough of that. Don't have him come up in the main roster smiling and cheesing like when he's just been like the most serious that he's ever been in WWE. Like this past run that he had from October 2019 to where we are now is the best that he's been since he got called up to
since he signed with WWE, mate, to be honest.
I ain't gonna. His NXT run was that was really good. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about
it was good, but I think his character has been better this time around in NXT than it was the first time around, just purely because I feel like it's a bit similar, or at least reminiscent of the character which he played in New Japan. And at the end of the day, that's what got him. That's what made him a big star outside WWE, and that's what got the WWE's attention. And this is what I never understand about what the WWE does: is these people who they sign and they bring in, they get their attention for a reason, whether it's their character or their attitude, their ring work, whatever. And then as soon as they bring them in, they make them do something different. Like they re-signed Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy because of the broken stuff, and then didn't do it for 8 months. So by the time they did their version of it, people were kind of over it. Whereas when they brought them in at WrestleMania, that pop which they got at WrestleMania was insane. That and the AJ Styles pop at the Royal Rumble are two of my favorite pops ever. They were sensational. But they missed the boat because they made them into the Hardy Boys again, which people didn't want to see. And I never understand why they do that. They want to change people. And Finn Balor, this time around, I just think has been excellent. My one concern is that, when he goes back up to the main roster, which he will, is they will first have him smiling and flicking his collar, and then people will kind of not really be into it. So then he'll become the demon, and then they won't be able to help themselves than to put him in with Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss, which I think is a mistake because they shouldn't be beating either one. Vince is 76 this year, mate. Like, man needs to just go and enjoy the rest of his days and his money and relax. Like, he shouldn't be running a TV show every Monday for 20 to 40-year-olds, in my opinion. Rant over. What match are you looking forward to on Double or Nothing?
Still there? Like,
I'm still in this. Yeah, I'm still there. I had a little rant about Vince. What matches are you looking forward to on Double or Nothing, mate?
I'll say that again, because your screen kind of
it just froze up a bit. Which matches are you looking forward to on Double or Nothing?
The triple threat for the AEW World Title. I think the pop that Britt Baker's gonna get when she wins the women's title is gonna be insane. Like it's like one of those situations where predictable is not bad. Like I think Britt is the most obvious choice, like out of the whole card to win. and I want to see Anthony the Go-Go put hands on Cody Rhodes, especially for that dumbass promo he cut 2 weeks ago, trying to unite the world through his, good old
didn't like that one.
Good old America promo. That shit was stupid. It was stupid. Yeah. Like with that, I don't know who he ran that by, but thought that was cool. See, this is why you don't run to people who like. So he said that he ran that by a few people. Like he later clarified that it wasn't like a focus group, but he went in to ask some veterans. Bro, you don't ask people that work for you because they're not gonna tell you the real. 9 times out of 10, they probably just gonna tell you whatever the hell we want to hear. Like he needed to go some, and then they had the dude in the crowd when he was cutting the promo with the white dude with the Black Lives Matter shirt. And he was clearly a fucking plant because he took a picture earlier in the show talking about I was here for Cody with his biracial son. Like, I'm like, bro, come on with that was the whole thing about that promo is like, and I see a lot of white males like so fascinated by like Cody's so passionate. He's such a passionate promo. Bro, that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That was stupid. Like, I don't know what he was getting at or what point he was trying to make that like that's kind of the issue. Like when you got, it's two different perspectives, bro. Like you got this white male who only thing he believes in this world is that no matter what skin color you are, whatever, blah, 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 if you work hard, you can get where you want to go. And that's bullshit. Everybody knows this bullshit. But to Cody, that's probably what he honestly believes. And him having a biracial child with a black woman, it's going to be one of these days that his child's going to grow up and they're going to possibly come into a situation, not anything bad, but I'm talking about just life experiences or maybe a conversation. And Cody's going to have to look at that from both sides and not from his single standpoint of him being a white American, a white man in America, because that's the only viewpoint he has. I kind of look at it like it's a coach called Dabo Sweeney, a college football coach. And I remember he had like a little scuttlebutt, I guess, or a rebuttal with one of his black players, and he was like basically like telling them like, no matter what skin color you are, blah blah blah, you can do it, right? But this is his perspective, right? White male, grew up poor, he made it, right? He made it, success. But what you don't realize is that you being a white male in America, there are certain things in this country that are going to be provided to you, poor or not. Like that's just the real, bro. That's what it is. Yeah. And even though he did work hard to get where he's at, you still have certain privileges that if a black man was in that position, he wouldn't be able to get, or a black woman was in that position, they wouldn't be able to get. So yes, you did work hard to get what you got, but you did made it, and you did make it. But if you were to tell him that, like, what I just said, he would be like, that's false because look at me, I came up poor and I made it. And it just, that type of shit doesn't register in his mind. And like, I think Cody is going to have to come to a realization one day of, I need to look at this from both perspectives and not trying to be in this whole unite the world shit. Like, cause bro, that's just not truthful and it's not honest. And
it's not real.
You would be bringing somebody, like leading them in blind, like not knowing what the truth is, you know what I'm saying? Like so I mean, I'm not gonna like comment on like, what like years later down the line, because I don't know what type of, I'm pretty sure he'll be a great parent, but I think it's just a matter of like he needs to like really do like some inner looking or searching before he like starts diving into race, because that's a very sensitive subject that he is clearly not that informed on or has like a one-sided view of. So yeah,
it is difficult though, isn't it? Because like his perspective is his perspective, but he hasn't got the same life experiences as a person of color, and that's just a fact. Like he hasn't got those same life experiences, and
he won't. He can't live it. He can't. Like
you could try to understand.
Even with Brandy there to tell him that he still can't understand. He can't. He can't, because you just can't. Like, especially him being 30-some years old, he's already had a full life experience. So it's like you know what I'm saying? You can't honestly just switch and be like, oh, I understand. Because bro, you don't, and you never will.
Yes, it's difficult when I gotta say, come back to your original point, like whoever he ran that promo by, someone's got to say, "Come on, man! I don't think that's it. Like, I don't think that's the way to go." It was just, it felt out of place. Like, from a story point of view, it was weird. It didn't hit right at all, and it didn't even feel like a natural, like a progression of the story they were trying to tell. It was a really weird one. I saw someone say, someone tweeted Cody, a British guy, just some random guy, and he was saying he was really disappointed that AEW have gone for the kind of the stereotypical European heel who hates America and all this sort of stuff. But like, they didn't need to do that with Anthony Ogogo. They clearly want to make him like seem like a big deal. Like, they've straight away they've established that his sort of punch to the ribs is like a finishing move, which they absolutely should. The man was an Olympic boxer, but I feel like that's what the focus should be on, rather than trying to do the whole stereotypical kind of international heel. I don't know. It feels like an old stereotype which doesn't need to be used. Like, it doesn't feel as if they need to use that in the story, but you know, it is what it is. Wrestling loves their tropes, I suppose, is the thing.
Did you see the
Jimmy and Jey Uso make it back? Go on, say what you're going to say.
No, I was about to talk about the Dark Side of the Ring stuff. Did you get to see any of those episodes?
So I've seen all of them except for the one that was out yesterday. I've got to watch that.
The Ultimate Warrior one.
Yeah, so I haven't seen. I've seen Nick
Gage. Did you see when
Pillman.
Dana Warrior called it smut and filth, and then Evan Hustley and Jason Ireton put out a shirt that said smut and filth, and they donated to LGBTQ.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's some funny shit right there. That is funny.
What do you think?
Because Warrior's like a known like homophobe and shit like that. So that shit was funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to watch that and kind of see what how she was.
People said it wasn't like, you know, like it wasn't like a big hit piece. Like, it was just like, you know, like basically stuff that, like, I guess that we already knew, but like, you know, they just further dove into it. Like, it's just, you know, it's two different perspectives, but like, I don't know why WWE is so like hell bent on trying to like rewrite or like make people think that Ultimate Warrior was just like stand up. You like, bro, come, like, cut that shit out, man. Like, they
did a documentary on.
They doing the same thing. They doing the same thing with Hogan, like literally trying to like rebuild his image.
Yeah, it's weird. It's and like the other thing as well is like the WWE themselves did like a hit piece on him, and I just feel like, come on, like don't rewrite history. just, it's history. You know, hopefully after he made those comments, he learned and changed. But in my experience, people who hold those opinions do not change. But I guess it is what it is. Jimmy and Jey Uso are back together, or are they back together? They're back on the same show. Are they going to tell a similar story with him, where he's kind of like a bit reluctant, and then he eventually turns heel and becomes.
You talking about get a shot at the Universal title, or you talking about him just joining Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I just mean like, so initially, I really apologize. I always get the Usos mixed up. So Jey was the one who's been on TV, isn't it? And then Jimmy's just come back. So with Jey initially, he kind of was like a baby face funny, and Roman was like.
I'm about to say another way for you to tell. I mean, another way you can tell. Jey got the mohawk, short hair, and Jimmy got the long. Yeah,
that's right too. But so they kind of did where Jey was like, "Oh, I don't know," and he didn't want to attack Daniel Bryan, and then eventually he joined Roman and becomes like full on heel. And I guess I'm asking, do you think they'll do a similar thing with Jimmy?
Yeah, you were talking about. I think they're gonna probably do a thing where Jimmy and Jey, or Jimmy is still like hesitant about joining Roman Reigns, but they'll probably put the tag titles on them, and then that'll kind of like, you know, ease the tension between the two, because it's like all of them got the championship, and like, you know, and I think they're gonna start off. I think that's probably gonna happen at Money in the Bank with the crowd. I can definitely see Jimmy and Jey taking the titles off Rey and Dominic. So I think I think that's that'd be a crazy good match too if they get some good amount of time.
Yeah, it could be a banger of a match, that one, couldn't it? Do you think at any point we see Jimmy versus Jay? Do you think they might do that as a little treat? You don't think? Be interesting. What have you made of? Obviously, we haven't really spoken much since WrestleMania. We discussed previously, like, about what we thought they might do with Cesaro, what we thought they should do. How do you think they've been treating him since WrestleMania?
You know what, bro? I think they did, you know, what was best. Like I can't see anybody like taking the title off Roman Reigns right now. Like I just genuinely like can't see it. Like nobody on that roster right now. The only person I think that could possibly do it is Daniel Bryan, and that's because I think the crowd would just be so hot for it. Like that's if he comes back, which I think he will. I don't think he's leaving. I think he's, you know. That Daniel Bryan is smart, bro. I think he's just, you know, just waiting it out probably. Like even the arena for SmackDown for the first show back with fans, they announced Sasha Banks and Edge back, and you know it's just nothing for them to do right now. Like so, you might as well just wait until you know it's you know at least fans back so they can you know have something to feed off of, and you're gonna bring talents like that back. But with Cesaro, like I think they did you know. The best route possible. They did kind of make him look like a little, you know, little punk at times, like when Roman was like just straight up disrespecting him. But like, you know, I think they did, you know, a good job with Cesaro, bro. Like, you know, I can't complain. I know people was like I don't know who was expecting him to win the Universal Championship. I damn sure wasn't. But like he got a shot, bro, and it was a good match, and he did good. And like, you know, he's probably about to go be in Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins, like. You know, and then that Money in the Bank, I'm pretty sure that the crowd is going to react nicely to him as they did at WrestleMania. And maybe he wins the Intercontinental title from Apollo. There we go.
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance of winning Money in the Bank, mate. I've got to be honest. I think he's going to be among the favourites. Let's just quickly talk about the men's Money in the Bank match then, and some potential people to be in it just before we finish up with some Double or Nothing talk. I think Cesaro is going to be a Money in the Bank, probably Seth Rollins from the SmackDown side. Do you see like Daniel Bryan being in there as like a surprise, maybe as his return with fans, or someone else? Maybe a Jimmy or a Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso might be a shout. That would certainly
Money in the Bank for the men's side. I'm trying to think about who would be best able to utilize that, and then honestly, I think that would probably. You know what, bro? Somebody who I think would really be fit for Money in the Bank, especially because his partner is out with an ACL injury. You put on John Morrison, bro. Because like I think that John Morrison has like really been second fiddle and not what he was prior to coming back to WWE. Like dude was all over the place. He was like AAA mega champion. He was like their world cruiserweight champion. He was Impact World Champion, bro. He was everywhere. Like everywhere, and he's great in the ring. Like he just the way he's just been presented over the past 2 years or so is just not fun at all. Like it's just like it's not, you know, comedy gab, but like I think everybody knows how good he is. And well, I feel like he's going to end up like Shelton Benjamin, like remembered in the same way that Shelton Benjamin is, because you know how people. Even me, we hold Shelton Benjamin in such a high regard, like for his in-ring performances over the past years, having and even going back to his first run in WWE, and it's just like, damn, maybe if they could have did this with him, then things would have been different. I feel like that's exactly how John Morrison is going to be remembered. Like it's going to be like, damn, I wish they would have did this, and then by the time to do that, it's going to be too late. And like I feel like they need to do something. But I ain't saying he got to win the WWE title, but like if you get behind him, if you get the people behind him enough to do that, like bro. Call up Frankie Monet when the crowds come back, and then put them together. She's great, he's great, and have them hold the championships. Like have them both
have Money in the Bank case.
Bro, I think Frankie Monet is more main roster ready than like anything that she could possibly do in NXT. Like I even when I seen her. But she, like, of course, we've seen Taya Valkyrie all over the place. We've seen her do stuff in AAA. We've seen her do stuff in Impact. But, like, just talking about specifically NXT. Even when I saw her come out, I'm like, and just seeing her in-ring style, I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, is like,
Yeah, she is ready, mate.
yeah, she
And I
it's
think
time, bro. The USI.
what they should do is they should put them together. I would love it if they gave them both the Money in the Bank cases, the men and the women's respectively, and really play up I feel like one of the things they've lost over the last couple of years with the Money in the Bank is play up what a big deal it is to have that case, what a tremendous opportunity, and kind of tease it and then forget about it for a bit and then tease it. Like I feel like they've lost a lot of that. Big E, I think, should be in the Money in the Bank match. Aleister Black, maybe, depending on what they're going to do with Aleister Black. It's a bit of a weird one. Like, he seems like he's going to be in the Intercontinental picture.
Why you got the Big E though? Why, like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, I mean, I get it, but like, damn, because I can tell you, like, now I feel like Alistair is just about to like shoot to the top, and then Big E's gonna be like, you know, mid card.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because like they put themselves if they do a feud between those two, they put themselves in
winning, bro.
Position.
He's winning.
Yeah, but they don't. They should have kept them apart for the time being because they don't want to beat either. They shouldn't want to beat either guy. They should be building both those guys up to main event level. So don't feud them together where you've got to beat one of them. It makes no sense. I can't bring up the Double or Nothing card, mate, if you're able to just bring that up on your computer.
I got you. But
from the Raw side of it.
For the women's Money in the Bank, I know you said like the idea with Frankie Monet and John Morrison. For the women's side, bro, honestly, I would like them to just keep it simple. Like, I don't think they need to go complicated. I would have Sasha Banks win, and I think you already got the tagline, the Banks, and you know, it just have her call out Bianca Belair for SummerSlam. Like, just you know, keep it simple. They want. I'm pretty sure people would want it. I'm pretty sure ain't nobody gonna complain about seeing that rematch.
No, absolutely not. I think one maybe surprise option might be Becky Lynch for the women's Money in the Bank.
Ooh,
like I feel like her
look at you,
holding
Booker,
it. Look at you, her holding it and being like, and then but her getting it and then maybe going away for a few weeks, but doing a promo on Raw or whatever the next night saying, I've got this and I'm going to take that title whenever I feel like it.
You want to know something you just said? Like, Raw, they need like a hard hit, bro. Like, they need Balor, they need Becky Lynch, they need like star power immediately. Because
they need fresh faces, don't they? Not just
they need like
someone from SmackDown. I
feel like Raw they need new faces in the women's division. I don't know why they not doing that with Naomi. Like, they just like letting her just like fade away. Like I don't get that. It's ridiculous. Like they be treating Naomi like she's like some old vet. Like, I'm like, I mean, she is but like, dude, they act like she still can't go out there and get it done and be a champion. I'm like, people believe in Naomi. Like, she's believable. Like, people believe in her as a baby face. Like, I'm trying to figure out why she's not in the title picture.
Well, look what they're making Rhea Ripley look stupid, and I just think Vince doesn't understand her. Like, doesn't get why she got over.
Has she been like? I wanted to ask you this. Has she been like not a disappointment, but like just to you?
But it's because the way she got over was by just not really talking a lot and smashing people's faces, and then they keep trying to make her talk. Then they make her look stupid in the beat the clock stuff, and I just feel like Vince doesn't understand what got her over in the first place.
You think she's losing the title at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, I actually do, because I feel like she's been that much of a disappointment.
But you want to know what, bro?
Not her, but her booking.
You want to know what, bro? I'm not even like against her losing. I think Charlotte should win the title, like, especially going back in front of fans. Like, yeah.
But they should use it as a way to get Rhea Ripley on the right path, so that like she loses the title, and then she gets a bit of a nasty streak, and kind of stops trying to be funny, and starts being like an ass kicker. Do you know what I mean? Like, they should use that to move her character where it should be.
So one thing before we get to the Double or Nothing stuff, I know. I think it was Sean Rosapp who reported that that Zelina Vega was going. He first reported that Zelina Vega was back at the Performance Center. But then the hope was that they was going to end up bringing her back in WWE. Like if she is to come back, what can you see her doing?
Well, I'd put it with Aleister Black, I would admit. But I don't think they will. The problem is they released Andrade, and I just thought they were so good together.
And you see this motherfucker's facing Kenny Omega at Triple Mania. You seen that? That's crazy, bro. He's everywhere. I mean, that match is crazy.
He's got a point to prove as well about just how good he is. He should have been a main eventer, and I said this last year to you. He should have been a main eventer in the WWE. He should have been the kind of Latin star that they keep saying they're looking for. Yeah, they had Andrade. They've got Escobar. I'd move Escobar and.
Bro, he is going to be a star, Phantasma. Bro.
Well, I'd bring the whole group. I'd bring the whole group up to Raw and make them a big deal,
bro. Because he
put all the gold on
like, he can do like I think one of the beneficial things of him, he's like really great at. He's bilingual and he's well versed in both languages. Like I think that's like going to help him a lot. Like he even said it in an interview with Busted Open Radio. He was like, he think that's one of the reasons why he's at where he's at in NXT, because he can speak English and speak Spanish, and he think that's just he thinks that has really helped him get to where he is right now. Because he said if he didn't have that, he probably don't know like how. Like I feel like NXT would have did him justice, but I don't think if he was on Raw or SmackDown, I don't think it would work. Like, but I feel like, and it's sad that that's like that, but just knowing how they operate and stuff like that, I think that's just what it is. But I feel like he would. I feel like the fact that he can do that, hit him, Raul Mendoza, and Woken Wild. I feel like the fact that all three of them are bilingual, bro. Like that's that they put them on Raw, man. Like the only thing that I can see them like getting their way is people, their size, like what I'm saying, because they, they're like 5'11", 6 feet, 6'2", you know what I'm saying, compared to. The 6'4".
You can work around that, can't you? Yeah. Like I would bring them up. I put the tag titles on them, the other two on Wild and Mendoza straight away, and I'd put Carlos Escobar Santos Escobar in the. That would be quite the catch, wouldn't it, if they brought in Carlos Escobar? Jesus Christ!
You ready to get the double or nothing?
Yeah, but I'd put Escobar either in the US title picture or even the main event straight away. Make him a big deal. If you present him as a big deal, the fans buy it as a big deal. That's the end of it. Right, go on and tell me some matches.
Ricochet, if you present him as a big deal, people will believe he's a big deal.
Oh,
that's simple.
It makes me sad.
We got on the buy-in. We got Serena D versus Rio for the NWA World Women's Championship.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to change that, to be honest.
No, because I think Thunder Rosa going to take the title off her. She's the number one contender. Thunder Rosa number one contender, so they're probably going to do Serena D versus Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
Thunder Rosa wins the title. Yeah, I think that'll be a good main event for a Dynamite.
Yes, 100%, mate. 100%. That's a good shot, actually.
And then
what's next?
Three-way for the AEW World Title. We got Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pat.
I think Kenny Omega's winning that, mate. To be honest,
yeah,
I don't see any way that any of the other two win. To be honest,
I think Kenny Omega's reign ends at All Out.
Versus who?
Hangman Page. Full circle.
Yeah, Hangman Page.
First All Out. Hangman didn't win the AEW World Title 2 years later.
Yeah, it's a good story to tell. So yeah, they should start telling that now, like slowly.
We got I think the one that me and you called the most obvious, Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker for the women's title, AEW World Women's title.
If they do Britt Baker dirty again, I'm gonna be really upset.
You imagine that reaction she gonna get?
Can you imagine the reaction if she doesn't win?
Oh yeah, they booing Shida out the building.
Yeah, that's gonna be the Randy Orton versus The Fiend finish at WrestleMania type booing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Britt Baker's got to win that, mate, and I think it'll be quite a good match as well. But it's Britt Baker's time. She's one of the best female workers in the world on all levels.
So can we talk about AEW women's division real quick? But they got like a good core, bro. Like they got, especially with Jade Cargill and Red Velvet, bro. They got like a solid,
Really like
whole
how they're
group.
building Jade Cargill as a big deal. Like she's got all these agents after her, and I think they're doing a really good job of when she is got an interview with Tony Schiavone or whoever, or when she's in the ring cutting a promo, or when she has
Bro,
a
she
match.
has the size,
It
bro. Like,
matters, and it's a big
yeah.
deal. Like when she's on, I put my phone down and I'm like, I need to watch this, whether it's a promo, an interview, or a match. They've done a good job with her.
But she looks like a star, bro. Like for real,
Yes,
she really does. She really
be
does.
interesting who they pick because they're clearly working towards giving her like some sort of manager or agent. So I'd be interested who they do pair her up with because
Yeah,
no one springs to mind necessarily.
I know, right? I
But
say the same thing.
be interesting. But yeah, the AEW rightly took a lot of criticism for their women's division and the treatment of it. The last 6 months been a lot better. They've done a good job of rebuilding and
Especially in
repairing.
bringing in some of the more Josie talent. I think that's been
Yes,
real cool.
yeah, but I think they've treated all their talent a bit better. They've made you care about people outside, because 6 months ago, all I cared about was Britt Baker, and the rest of them I just wasn't interested in. Whereas now, you've got Jade Cargill, you've got Red Velvet, you've got Serena Deeb, you've got Thunder Rosa in and out, you've got Rio, you've got Britt Baker. Like they all matter because they've told the story that they matter. They've made the audience understand these girls are
Got to
really
take
good.
Conti, Anna Jay.
Yeah, Tyke, yes, both of them. I really enjoyed both of them, both their work. Yeah, love it.
We got Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. I'm a Brit.
Anthony Ogogo is going to win. He should win.
Knock
If they
him
want to
out.
make him, yeah, he should break his ribs, put him out for a bit. And they clearly.
I'm an honorary Brit for Sunday night.
No, to be honest with you, the way they've been building Ogogo, it makes sense that he would win, and he would win relatively convincingly, or at least the finish will be quite a convincing one. It makes sense.
He was supposed to debut last year, right?
Yeah, and I mean, look,
At the fight,
he's very.
He's supposed to debut at the Fighter Fest show in London.
Okay. He's look, he's an Olympic level boxer. He's very well known around the world. Like it makes sense to push him if he seems to be able to go to a certain extent in the ring. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Cody will guide him through the match and stuff. But I think Ogogo's got to win and probably clean, to be honest as well. I hope that to me he should win clean, but I've got a feeling they might do like a bit of shenanigans.
I think you just need to knock him out.
I think use that punch to the ribs.
No, punch to the jaw. Punch to the jaw. Sleep him.
Body shots, mate. Body shots are killers. Liver punch.
But we got the Casino Battle Royal for person challenging for the AEW World Title at a future point. We got Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Penta, Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Blade, Uvo Uno, Gal Cabana, Preston Vance, who is 10, Greg Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, Dustin Rhodes, Lee Johnson, and the wild card, who I think will be Paul White.
Yeah, I think Big Show will be the wild card. I'm not sure about who's going to win that one. It's difficult. Probably just someone.
Yeah, probably Dustin. Well, let me not. I ain't gonna say it. Who could you see like getting a Dynamite? Because I mean, all out isn't until August or September. So maybe they go Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. And
for like a Fighter Fest or like Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah, and it's like his pay-per-view debut. So I suppose Christian Cage would be my pick. He makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Short-term program, and then they can start building towards Adam Page and Omega. Then they should anyway.
This is why I like you. This is why we do these.
This is why we do this shit.
But we got Hangman versus Brian Cage. Yeah, Hangman winning. Right? They won one, right? Didn't Page beat Hangman on Dynamite?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did.
My concern is, like, I think Adam Page should win, and this should be the start of building towards that Omega shot. But I've got a feeling they're going to beat him and then
more sympathy.
Build to it. Kind of build, like, start with a low point and then kind of.
That's smart.
Yeah, and I think you've got to remember one of the things that got him over was being drunk as fuck all the time, coming in, hitting a move, and leaving. That was what got him kind of over when he was, before that, struggling a little bit with the fans. The fans are going to be back, so it kind of would make sense for him to lose, kind of go back to that drinking gimmick, and then keep winning to set up the Omega story. But, you know,
that's a good point. I like that. I'm gonna go with you. I was saying Hangman at first, but I'm gonna go with Paige. Oh, going back on something I wanted to ask you, like the women's title. Of course, we think Britt Baker's gonna win. You want to know what I think the money is? Like the match for All Out, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. She is over. Like I think Britt Baker versus Statlander is the way to go. And I don't know, man. Like if Statlander keep getting the reaction she getting, they might have to do a switch. I don't know.
Switch. Yeah. I don't really get it. I gotta be honest. Like I know she's good and stuff.
You don't like Statlander? What?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't get it. But like, I would like to see Britt Baker get a bit of a long stint and become like the sort of unbeatable champ, and then have someone come and take it and make them a big star. But we'll see.
We got we got Miro or Dante Martin versus Jake Roberts, because Miro's defending the TNT title against Dante Martin tonight. I don't think he's winning, but
Miro's gonna win.
I think Lance Archer versus Miro, I think it's gonna be a good house fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it'll be brutal. It'll be good. It'll be hard hitting, but Miro's got to win, surely.
Yeah, but you never know. We got the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle and Stadium Stampede. I think the Pinnacle is going to win, and then the Inner Circle is going to break up, because that's a stipulation. If they lose, they got to disband. I don't know why. I feel like the Pinnacle is going to win. I don't know. I just got a feeling that they're going to win.
I think Jericho and AEW have got this thing about they want to pay off stipulations. They don't want to say something and then not do it. And I agree with you. I think they're going to break up, which puts them in a position, because I think actually as a babyface run for the Inner Circle could be quite interesting and different. But like you say, if they lose, they've got to break up. If they win, does it hurt the Pinnacle, who are a new group? I don't know.
And just lost. But they won Blood and Guts. My bad.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call. It'd be interesting what they do, because the first Stadium Stampede was completely pre-taped, and apparently it's going to be live. So I will be interested in what they do, whether they'll just do it as they'll just brawl through the crowd and stuff, maybe, and kind of do it that way. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Do you think they'll do a callback to the golf cart moment in some way?
Probably like the spook Sammy Guevara or something like that.
Yeah.
But we got Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Sting in his first live in-ring match since 2015.
Here's a question. Did I miss when Scorpio Sky broke up from SCU, or did they just not do it?
No, I think he just went on his own. I don't think there was ever like any split. Like I think he just
I never remember it being mentioned. I never remember them having a conversation and just saying, "Oh, I'm going to go and do my own thing." They were just together one week, and then he just turned up again, and he was on his own, and he was a heel.
Yeah,
but I just thought I'd missed it. But him and Ethan Page got to win, haven't they, to keep establishing their gimmick? Or do you think that they're beatable heels, and they'll give Sting the big win?
See, that's a rough one, because it's Sting's first match back since 2015.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
of course, you know what I'm saying? That's a big thing.
It is
But
tough,
at the
isn't it?
same time, you got to think about like your future. And
Yeah, and Ethan Page is
And
money.
Darby just lost, so it's like just have him take the pin. Have him take the pin, and then you can go into Ethan Page versus Darby Allin and have him recreate what they did in Evolve.
100%. It's for me, that's the way to go. Just not sure if that is the way they will go. Is that all of them, or is there one more?
We got one more. We got the Young Bucks putting the titles on the line against Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I think this one is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think that this is where the Good Brothers end up costing the Young Bucks the titles. To be honest.
Or maybe there's one of those heartbreaker things when Mox and Kingston lose. Maybe it is.
Yeah, it could be. I assumed that they would have put the Impact World titles back on the Good Brothers by now. So I assumed that Kingston and Moxley would win because the Good Brothers tried to help and cost them. Then the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers would kind of feud over the Impact titles. That hasn't happened, so it's a difficult one because I could see it going both ways. Like, I've quite enjoyed the Young Bucks back with Omega and being full on old Young Bucks, like heels and stuff. I've enjoyed that, so I'm not in a hurry to see them lose the titles, but they have got the upper hand over Moxley and Kingston a lot. It's a weird one. I don't know. Which way do you see it going? Who do you think's going to win?
I can't call it, but like I can see the Young Bucks winning, and I can see Moxley and Kingston winning. I can see it being like one of those heartbreak, type of moments where everybody was like, "Oh, we thought they was going to win," and then the Young Bucks. I think it just gets more heat on the Young Bucks.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like Moxley and Kingston, that's a good team, but like I don't feel like they need the tag titles to be like successful. I feel like that. I feel like they're just enjoyable, like as they are. Like, but like, let me ask you this: they win the titles. Where do they go after this? They win the titles. Then what? Then what's next? They just go just feud with anybody. Like,
huh? Face FTR.
I mean, yeah, but would you rather see FTR and the Young Bucks or FTR versus Moxley and Kingston?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks next.
See, Young Bucks need to retain. There we go. In a circle splits. Next thing for Santana and Ortiz, tag titles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against having the LAX gimmick back as well. I've got to be honest, I love that gimmick. But there we go. So that's Double or Nothing, my friend. Really looking forward to that. Be interesting watching live Dynamite tonight as well. Tell people where they can find your YouTube channel and stuff, my friend.
Andrew Thompson interviews. What was the thing called? You said URL, something like that. What was that funny stuff you used to say?
Yeah, youtube.com/Andrew Thompson interviews. Subscribe, click the bell, follow this man on social media, on YouTube. He's doing some amazing work. Some of the best interviews in wrestling, with some all sorts of different names, big names, indie names, just the names, mate, just wrestling names. It's been superb. Ace Podcast Nation, of course, we got all sorts of shows and stuff. Join us. We got another live football show on Monday, but we've also got I've got an exclusive interview with Liverpool indie rock band Honey Motel, which is out on Sunday, 8:00. It's exclusive for myself. Very much looking forward to people seeing that because I think that was some of my best work. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm very grateful to their promotion company, Foundry Music, who contacted me to get them on the show because I'd interviewed one of their bands last year or the year before, and they were happy with they were happy with my work, so they brought me some more, which you gotta love that, my friend. As ever, Andrew Thompson, it has been my absolute pleasure to converse with you about wrestling. It's been far too long before we did a show. Hopefully we can do another one next week because it just doesn't feel the same when we don't do them, my friend.
I don't know if you can see that.
I cannot.
That was me patting the heart.
Boom.
No,
I've been all in my bag, you been all in my business. You be all in your feelings. I've been all in them trenches. I've been all in my